Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Colonelcast. Today we're talking about 1984, the film adaptation of the book released in the year that's in the title. And with me today is Big Florian.
I'm the biggest Florian, yep. I sure hope you got a screen of me watching you all the time, or else you'll do very naughty things, I'm sure.
That's what we need. We need your oversight at all times here.
Yeah, I mean, you really do. Jesus, just America cannot be left to itself, you know?
Yeah. And also with me is the treacherous E. Richstein.
Whoa.
Oh man, come on! I'm just organized. What is it when the opposition is entirely cooked up by everyone?
Opposition.
Controlled opposition.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, I'm just controlled opposition. Double plus good.
Yeah. That's, well...
Is he supposed to be controlled?
I think he's meant to, well... I don't know if the implication is that he was ever a real person, because he's sort of based on... They're doing like, oh, he's sort of a Trotsky kind of figure, or like Lenin after Lenin left, that sort of thing, like the scapegoat kind of character.
Ah.
But I'm not sure if he... Yeah, I don't know if he's meant to have actually been a real person or not. I think Goldstein in particular is an interesting metaphor, because we're seeing, I think in real time, the American administration just blame Biden for absolutely everything that goes wrong consistently.
Oh yeah, that's so crazy, because I mean, I guess at some point people are just gonna have to realize that Trump is just always lying, so Biden must have actually been pretty good in comparison, but I guess not.
I think it's funny they talk about him like he's this terrifying evil guy.
Yeah, the
who's
worst.
Like, yeah,
Awesome person.
he stood in front of a red background once, and he made a speech, and that was it. That was the end. That was the end of the world. So, yeah. But what do you guys think of this?
Did Biden do that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he stood in front of a red background, and he did a speech once. Like, there's a picture of him, and he looks kind of mad, and they've just been using that.
Oh, that's Dark Brandon? I never understood. Damn.
I guess that's Dark Brandon. Yeah, that's I wish he went darker with it, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, we got Musk going Dark MAGA, so I
Dark
guess...
Gothic MAGA. You make sure to specify every time.
Oh yes, naturally. Wow,
Yeah.
the finest.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what do you guys think of this film, though, overall?
I didn't care for it that much. Like, I guess my main gripe is that Big Brother looks so stupid. Like looking at this, like, I mean, if you know anything about the book, then you realize that like his face looking at you all the time is a big deal. But in this movie, it's just like they have this really awkward Polish janitor who's just always looking at them on the monitor. Like, why? He's so unimpressive. I don't understand.
Well, he's supposed to be like a tough guy who I think looks kind of like a worker of some sort. He's supposed to be like the savior kind of strongman character who they all believe in. And even though I think it's implied in the book, especially, that he's not real at all. So.
Not real? Oh, jeez. Well, he must be real if he looks this stupid, because they would have definitely found someone who looks cooler.
I mean, there must be like a photo. It must be a photo of someone, yeah, but probably not the actual leader or whatever. Yeah, because
oh, right. So the actual story is kind of underwhelming too. It's just like, oh, they had sex, and then somehow that sex is a crime, and now they're gonna get punished. Like, wow, am I missing something? They weren't actually doing anything, right?
Well, the whole story of 1984 is sort of there to like hang the whole allegory on more than be like a really compelling plot on its own. So like that whole thing, like that's just the theme of like the anti-sex thing running through the entire like society and stuff, and their desire to remove all like innate human emotions and compulsions and stuff. So
yeah, Florian, it's removing the things that make us human and make humanity particular in order to forge us into the like sheep that the fascists, or I mean, what would these people call it? They're
totalitarian. I mean, they're
totalitarian.
Either...
Yeah, society wants us to be.
I guess they're supposed to be communists, so maybe that makes sense, because communism is like so so against like human nature. I guess with fascism you'd have like the embrace of all like the terrible parts of human nature, and you would have like, and they would breed really hard. They would like send all the young people together on trips so that they can have lots of children, and like they give in to all of their hate in and they just embrace like all the worst qualities of mankind. And this, I guess, would be the opposite, where they just try to remove every good part of humanity, as well as I guess some bad ones possibly, but probably not, considering they're still fighting wars. So it's a very interesting concept that somehow is not even remotely addressed in the movie, which is sad, I guess.
They do a lot of that. I mean, the one that's in the movie quite a bit, and I think is sort of the biggest point that the book was trying to make, is the just the erasure of the language entirely. You know, like they keep trying to get the dictionary smaller and smaller. The list of acceptable words goes down.
Exactly. That's also so weak in this movie. It's just like, okay, they mentioned the dictionary, and then like at one point the guy gets in trouble because he's used like an outdated word because he used last year's dictionary, and yeah, okay, the implications of that are bad, but then like the way it's handled in the movie is like nothing. There's no consequences to that, basically. Like if they execute someone for that reason, it's really a nothing burger. And the way they speak when they say like, oh, double plus good and whatever, like that's the way they say it is like perfectly understandable. It's not weird at all, and it's still better than how Sumas talk. So I guess we're behind the time on that one. I guess we're past 1984 already on that one.
We might be, but I don't know. It's just they want to like simplify the concept because they want you to like not even think in like words and sentences and whatever. So that they just want to like get rid of any like concept that you could think of that could ever go against the party.
I mean, they're like we're doing this way worse with how we're using TikTok, and it's rotting everyone's brain, you know. And like, but what's interesting is that just like last week or whatever, like Trump has released like a list of words that you're not allowed to say anymore. So that's amazing. Like, wow, I guess some books still do need to be studied so we can avoid doing the exact mistakes. Have you
Florian's
seen
like,
this
wow,
list?
actually reading comes in handy sometimes.
On occasion.
I would never say that. But have you seen that list of words that you're not allowed to say anymore if you work for the government?
I have not actually, no.
Oh my god,
Is
well,
that-
this is going to be very relevant then.
I always
Okay.
thought the language thing was kind of weird because like that seems like kind of far away from anything that people actually do try, you know. I guess outside of like word bands like that and stuff.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, here we go. Wait, is it? Damn it, no, this isn't the right one. I mean, one of them is like transgender, and then gender in general, pregnant
No.
person, because you're just supposed to say pregnant woman. Pregnant people, you're not allowed to say. LGBT, you're not allowed to say. Transsexual, non-binary. Non-binary is one word. It's
Yeah.
amazing, you know? Like,
Just don't even acknowledge these things at all, and maybe they'll go away. I guess is the position here.
diversity, activism, BIPOC, DEI. Okay, that's weird because they say that all the time.
That's their biggest thing to whine about. Yeah, can't get rid of that.
Right. I guess you can't. Wow, can't mention it even.
Wow.
Well, wait, women is. No, this is.
They banned women. Okay.
Are these the? Well, they them is certainly banned. Okay. Not
Yeah.
even in context that makes sense linguistically, you know.
Is this like on like a White House website or something? Is that where they're putting that?
Well, this is. Oh, well, that's not the right. Let's see. Where do we find this? Okay, Financial Express, New York Times. Is that the one? Does
I don't
that
know.
say it? Yeah, New York Times. These words are disappearing in the new Trump administration, and then it says, we've updated our terms, and you're not allowed to go on without with your ad blocker. But it's the same list, so
Okay,
so yeah.
well, that makes more sense than them like outright banning them for federal employees. They're just like deleting them from the site and stuff, because that is like, I feel like that even now that wouldn't get past like, you know, First Amendment grounds and stuff.
No, I'm saying like I couldn't read the website because it's like, you know how news websites are shit.
Yeah, I know, but I think what that is a list of words that are like getting deleted from the like whitehouse.gov like directories and everything, right? Because they took down a picture of the Enola Gay, the like famous, I forgot what the plane did, but
yeah,
it's a
because
famous
it has the
plane.
word gay in it.
Yeah, so they're just deleting stuff like that all over the place, which is bizarre. But I don't think they could get past, like, if they actually release like a word like, oh, you cannot, or a list of like, you cannot say these words if you're in the federal government. I feel like they'd get challenged on that really hard, but who knows?
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's just interesting that he actually went that far as to put out a list of non-words. What are they called in this movie? Unwords?
I don't remember.
Yeah, they're called unwords, I think. It's we are so 1984. Can we think of any other ways that we are now past 1984 when it comes to what we've seen in this movie versus what we've seen in reality?
I mean, they want to bring back conversion camps, so that's very possibly a way that we're getting closer to 1984.
Mm-hmm. Did they have conversion camps for what?
Well, I mean, definitely in this movie, like at the end when they're trying to like make him love Big Brother and like force everything about love out of his brain except for Big Brother, like, oh, well, that's what they do for fucking gay people, is like,
I mean, I hope
you only love straights. I
hope they're not gonna use rats, at least. I hope that the gay people at least be spared the rat torture, you know. That one was pretty visceral, that torture.
Yeah. That's like one of the only things I remembered really clearly from the book, is that it ends with him getting rats put on his face, and that was like the main takeaway I had when I read it. So.
Well, I guess it wasn't actually the end. It was when he cracked and then the rats never came out, right?
I don't know if they. Well, no, I guess they didn't, because his face didn't get eaten. He's still alive at the end, but yeah, you know, that's the thing that I remembered though. It's And also just the whole, like, I think there's something in the book, I think he has to go in a corner to jerk off, you know, like in the same corner he's like writing his journal in or whatever. But I'm not sure if they... Yeah.
Yeah, I think the rat torture is definitely like the best part of this movie, because that's like the main thing that definitely stuck in my mind. Like nothing else from this movie, from this book even, stuck in my mind, but the rat torture sure did.
Yeah.
That one is quite impressive. I guess it's just for him though. Any other guy would have received an equally horrible torture of another kind.
It's whatever their worst fear is. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I guess they.
What would your worst fear be?
I mean, I guess the only way to find out is to like listen to me at night. What my worst nightmares are. I guess one time I had a nightmare that I was in a football stadium that was taken over by actual lions that were talking.
Okay.
Maybe that's what
an incredible
waits.
dream.
Well,
maybe that waits in room 101 for me, you know.
Well, what would your fear be, Rich? What do we got?
My fear would probably be losing everyone that I love. So I would be like stripped of.
Wow.
Like they'd kill everyone.
Well.
Oh well, I guess if they kill them, that's pretty harsh.
It's not quite as bad as lions, but talking lions.
I was gonna say that's so gay, but then you mentioned that they killed them, so I guess that's bad if they actually do kill them. But if you just lose them, I guess it's like, geez, get over it, you know.
I guess they could be torturing them as well.
Oh yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah. I guess I feel like I'm only really that scared of like just straight up dying. I think, I don't know.
Well,
Probably
that would be
also
pretty tricky then, I guess. Maybe you'd be drowned in your room 101.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like the rats would probably just work though on most people. I think
they would definitely work on most people. Yeah.
Yeah, especially after like how we don't really know how long it is. Is it like weeks or months or years that he's being stuck there? So
Well, I mean, he's definitely gonna die. Like the rats are gonna dig all the way out, unless he manages to bite them to death.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he's gonna have to really work his teeth on those rats if he can, just shake around the helmet so they fall into his mouth and then just really bite down.
He could, yeah. You got the strat. See, this wouldn't work on you. You just eat the rats.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this.
You just bite their heads off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta try to get them. But what if they go for the eyes, like he said? Then you're really
I'm gonna be like telling them, idiots, I've got a rat strat, and then I bite their heads off.
Yeah. That's how you get them. They're tiny little brains. Turn them to paste.
Yeah.
You know.
I've had so much prep time. I'm like Batman, waiting for them to unleash my.
I was gonna say we're gonna talk about more eating rats later, probably, because that does come up with various Batman related things. So.
Oh wow!
Wow.
But there's I think that one of the biggest strengths of this movie is just visually. It's like it really looks like just the worst, most awful place to live. Like it always looks cold. It's all like just concrete.
It's all gray,
broken
all
nonsense.
Concrete, yeah.
It's all like
the look of the movie is so impressive considering it was made for what, like $50 million in
way
like
less than 50.
1984?
Yeah, it's like $5 million
Okay,
or
five.
something.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. Well,
yeah.
you really have to credit Roger Deakins, who's one of the like most talented cinematographers in existence. This was his like third movie or something, so like clearly he's just gifted from the start.
What else did he do? I didn't know
they have that ugly helicopter that's like a wireframe, but then they go outside into the countryside and they have like public transportation, and then it's all beautiful, and then no one can stop them from having sex.
Right.
So
Roger Deakins,
I guess.
Blade Runner 2049, Sicario, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, No Country for Old Men, Prisoners, Barton Fink, Fargo, basically like all of the Coen Brothers movies.
Yeah.
He's like done Skyfall, which is beautiful.
And Villeneuve ditched him for Greg Fraser. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta let new talent in sometimes.
Yeah. Greg Fraser made The Volume, so that's. I don't know if they used that on Dune. I have no idea, but.
But I guess that guy has like crazy pedigree, huh? When it comes to his prior work, damn.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just it's a really strong visual identity they've got for this. Like I like that is the cafeteria that he goes to. It's all like dark and sad looking every time. It's all like it's very. Apparently, it was filmed in London. Like they filmed it basically where it takes place, or as close as they could. Stuff and but yeah, it looks very Soviet or post-Soviet and just decrepit. So they did a good job on that.
I wonder what's
It's
the
very
story
funny.
there. What was it
What do you
taken
mean,
over
what's the
by
story?
was it taken over by the Soviets, or why is Britain now Soviet?
Well, Orwell thought like if things don't go well in World War II, England will either evolve into like totalitarianism like the Soviets did, or they'll like I can't remember what the other thing he said. Like, but this is an envisioning of what if England became like the Soviet Union.
Yeah, and it's well, they say that there was like a nuclear war or like another giant last war at the end or whatever. So, and it was recent enough that like Winston was alive during that and stuff, which is really interesting to me. Is that there's still like a generation of people who kind of remember at least like some amount of the world before.
It's weird because they're like, I guess the main thing about this thing is that they really like to erase the history, which I don't get. Like, how much are you gonna benefit from erasing your own history? Like,
I think it's just an exercise in like control over it. Like what people, if you control what people can know, then you can control everything that they believe and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
if you think it's like always been this.
So.
If you believe it's always been this, you don't think that you'll ever be able to escape it or, fight it.
Yeah, or like everything before was just like hell stuff, you know, like any
Right.
other
They're
alternative
saving
is
you
worse than
from
this.
the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess,
And like they're always talking about how much how much more production they're doing. They're always talking about how much better people's lives are, and like it doesn't actually like reflect in their lives. But you're constantly being told, yeah, like food yields are up by 50%. Like, yeah.
Well, they are at war. What do you expect?
Well, are they though? We don't even know if that's true. You know, that could be the whole thing, because who they're fighting seems to change.
They're
quite
constantly changing who they're fighting is the thing.
Yeah.
And then they say we've always been fighting them.
Mm-hmm. And you don't really know if if the other factions are real, if they're like other totalitarian states, or if they're like not real at all, or if they're just like arms of the same dictatorship, or if they're like sending real soldiers to go out and kill each other just for the sake of it, to have the footage, I guess, you know? Like we really don't get an insight on that, on how real any of it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the concept here is that society just, like, I guess this authoritarian society just thrives on endless war, and I guess at some point they mentioned that they use war to destroy human labor, which I guess feeds into them being poor all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess they probably do need to destroy that human labor somehow. So I guess there must be a war. Maybe they're like sparring wars with each other, these authoritarian nations. Who knows? But I guess that seems like they got that one entirely wrong, because like the authoritarians now, they're trying to make peace. They're trying to pretend like there's no war happening, and the war and like the Ukrainians should just surrender, you know. So
yeah, but Trump's always also sending shit out to Iran being like, you'd better do what I want, or else we're gonna come for you.
Yeah, I guess the latest on that is that they're just gonna ignore him in Iran.
Yeah, I mean the current targets that are available are not who Trump wants to go after, or the military complex wants to go after. So
they keep talking about annexing me. I'm not supposed to get fucked with. I live here, you know. Like, why? It's crazy.
Yeah, you just imagine just trying to invade your nearest allies. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's World War trade.
Yeah.
I guess we're retaliating now too. So it's just America against the world.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're invading their closest ally. I haven't heard anything but positives for Israel, you know. So that seems like their best friend forever here. So.
That's the only one that they're gonna trade with, just Israel and Russia and no one else. Yeah,
they'll trade hummus for nukes and stuff. That's just gonna be the only trade left.
Wow.
The rest is all tariffed.
Yeah. You can't buy eggs, you just have to buy hummus.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the music in this movie? Because I thought it was very odd. It reminded me of like LSD Dream Emulator, like a weird PS1 game.
Interesting. I really didn't notice that.
Yeah. There's just a weird tone to some of it, and a lot of it was like very... Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that was very strange, like that. So
yeah, I gotta be honest. It has kind of faded to memory since we've delayed it already a week.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remembe much specific music too, and I can't really anymore. I just have my note here.
You got your note.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the only thing that remains is like the big ideas of what they got wrong and what they got right. You know.
Yeah. Well, somewhat. One of the big things that they got right was the flat screen TVs. You know, they're flat, and also they stare back at you, which is like the really really big thing. It's like just everyone has a camera and stuff that's always looking at them at any given time.
Wow, yeah, I guess so. It's just so weird that they figured that they would just have like a static image of Big Brother at the time. You know, it's too bad they didn't evolve with the times, and he would at least like show your reaction if you're doing something, you know, like if you're jerking off, then he's just scowling, you know.
Well, he's always scowling, but they have other people come in, you know. They have like the like what is it, like Peloton bike instructor kind of lady. They have show up to tell you what like exercises to do in the morning, and she gets mad if you're not putting the work in.
I guess that's pretty based. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should definitely have that. Oh my god, that's actually like utopian. Imagine if like someone would stop people from being fat. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
well, now we
instead
have
of
Ozempic, so we don't have to try anymore.
Well, I don't know. That's probably a pretty bad solution. I guess it just keeps like the food in your stomach, so you feel full, but then like you're gonna get acid reflux and other terrible things.
Well, I don't even know. I thought it just made you like not hungry or like grossed out by food or something. It was like a mental thing.
Well, yeah,
I'm not
because
sure.
there's still food in your stomach.
Okay. I don't know. I keep hearing good stuff like, oh, it'll prevent your heart disease, it'll fix your teeth, it'll make you live 10 years longer,
Well,
you know, so...
Yeah, it will. Like, all those things will happen if you eat less, yeah.
Well,
like,
yeah,
you
but...
can also just eat less right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're ushering in a new age of prosperity with Ozempic. And we can thank... Is it like Denmark it comes from or something? I don't even remember.
No, does it?
Somewhere
Apparently
like
makes... It produces hormones that make you full, but also it does slow down digestion, so...
Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's neat.
I guess it's two things.
Yeah. That's better thing to hand out than like fucking coffee. They don't do the coffee. The coffee's banned, right? Yeah, so they get the coffee through illicit means, yeah. Their chocolate rations are down. Or up. Well, they say they're up, but they're down. You know, that's one of the big, that's one of the big ones.
Well, I think he was just about to get his chocolate rations, but then his children turned him in for thought crimes.
Yeah. I really like
the first one to turn in for thought crimes. Would it be me?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know. Like they tape you at night. I don't know. I probably say bad things when I'm asleep. I don't know.
I don't know who I'd have to turn in first. I really couldn't decide. Probably Florian, yeah.
I mean, I guess I say out loud a lot of things that are very non-PC.
Yeah, you're the biggest thought criminal of us all. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Colonel?
Oh, I guess I like the kids are like really scary, and they make me really hopeless for this world more than anything else because they're so brainwashed and stuff, and they completely like they have no idea what the world was like before, you know, like they would never ever rise up at all to any degree. They're all just these awful little fucking animals who stare at you and rat you out and shit. They're so creepy to me.
Their own parents, it's amazing.
Yeah. And that's right in line with like the Hitler Youth stuff that they were doing. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really funny because like kids are so stupid. Like trusting them on thought crimes is unhinged. But then again, I guess the Hitler Youth kids probably were pretty good at detecting like anti-Nazi sentiment or whatever. But who knows?
I think it's less about even getting like real thought criminals and stuff, and more just about like getting the next generation like prepared for this and like give them a taste of like power over each other and stuff like that. So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it definitely like I guess the Nazis definitely did it that way. You know, you like if a teacher says something bad and then the kids rat him out, then he's gonna go to the concentration camp. It's quite harsh.
Glad I got out of teaching.
Yeah, just in time. You know, you'd have to pretend like trans people aren't real, or else you're gonna go to like the next Tesla Seacal factory. You know.
Yeah. Recently, they're shutting down half of the Department of Education. So things are gonna get pretty bad here.
Yeah. Well, that's I do genuinely think to some degree in the Republican Party there's like a concerted effort to like get rid of education and make it worse and stuff.
Just make people stupider. Yeah,
I don't think that fucking like their homeschooling pushes and stuff. I don't think that's real. I think that's all like that's like no one thinks that that's like a fantastic idea because all the people who could think that and stuff are like they have access to all the data for this stuff. It's like it's all just I think that's like the most sinister because a lot of Republican stuff you can put down to them being very stupid and like uninformed on anything and stuff, especially for people like Trump and like most of the the current cabinet. But like for stuff like that, I think that is intentionally evil kind of thing. So it's not great.
I mean, like, I guess it's really the whole package. Like, he's following through on like all of the nasty things that he said he would. You know, like banning trans people and then deporting like all of the Mexicans. Like, it's so. I mean, I would have felt really bad for that, but then they voted for him, so I guess it's probably a good thing to get rid of him at that point, you know?
Well, he's deporting he's deporting protesters now and stuff. There's like a guy with the green card who they're holding in jail. Then the lawyers weren't able to like find him to talk to him or whatever, so that's pretty worrying.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
Yeah. I guess we'll see where it goes, you know. I'm sure there'll be so many news stories by the time this episode even comes out. So
yeah. We really gotta put it out in time or else we'll seem really dated.
Yeah.
You know, you really should put this out before the Batman thing.
It's been too long since Batman though. We gotta do more of that.
Poor Batman. So neglected.
Yeah. There's only like half of the episodes on this channel, you know, like that's no good.
People crave more.
Yeah.
What did they even say? Did they watch those Batman episodes?
They're asking for Batman Spider-Man, the short
Oh, that was
series.
great. Oh, you definitely gotta put that on the wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was sort of wondering maybe we do that with the Batman Spider-Man comic, because I'm not sure there will be a full hour of discussion on like one comic book. So I don't know. Make that a package deal, sort of thing.
That sounds like a good package. Yeah.
Yeah. Epic crossover. Yeah. That's about the only thing that I've been getting for comments on these videos lately.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the views like?
They're good. We get about 100 to 150 every episode, so that's pretty good.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to be more passionate about Batman. You know, we gotta say he's fighting the woke criminals and they're.
Batman kills woke crime boss. Yeah, we should do that. That'll be the title of the year 1 episode. Sure.
Wow.
Write that down.
Is that real? Is there anyone woke? No, that's not.
No.
We can't lie.
Well, that's
can't lie on
they
the
all
internet.
lie about it though. When you fucking like all woke Star Wars or whatever, it's all bullshit.
Look, there's gay stuff in Batman. Just wait for that.
Look, the Catwoman's a sex worker in it. Okay, so that'll be the
perfect.
crossover. Yeah, but
yeah, you just gotta find the right title for that. You know, what did she do? I guess it's
she
very
beat him up.
1984.
He won.
No, like what? Why is she deserving of being punished? You know, I guess she's like one of those evil sex havers. So I guess we gotta be like incels for this one. We gotta punish the sex havers. You know.
No. Well, 1984 is the ultimate incel world. You know, like that's what happens when you let them in charge.
Yeah, you just gotta continue making more incels by depriving everyone of sex. Yeah. I
don't know how they make more people. I don't know if they don't really go into that, I guess, but it's
well, I guess they must have a technological solution for this problem, so that's probably why it's
they are talking about that, actually. Artificial insemination they mentioned quite a bit, so yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that's kind of pointless then, because then you still have like the same DNA mingling. You're just doing it in an overly complicated way.
Yeah, well, you know, it's all worth it to suppress every emotion and stuff. You know, it's all that's necessary.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
We don't want those emotions.
They want to eliminate the orgasm, they say. So.
Yeah, I guess it's just weird because they just talk like a lot of nonsense that would be really hard to understand as like having any meaning.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they kind of want, though. They don't want anyone like communicating with each other to any like.
I'm talking about how it's like bad as a movie
extent.
in that way, because you don't like understand like, oh, the stakes here is that they really don't want anyone having like fun or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't even like, I don't think the government was even like trying to stop sex. It's just like a sect of people who's trying to stop people from having sex, right?
Well, it all comes from like the top down and stuff, so we don't really get to see the top. We get to see like one guy who's like one rank higher, and that's about it. So
yeah, and his privilege is being able to turn off the Big Brother TV.
yeah.
Big fish.
One thing the movie kind of glosses over a little bit is the book that he gets, the Goldstein written book, like manifesto on like how to resist and stuff, and that's like a much bigger part of the book. That's like half of the, basically like the whole thesis statement and explanation of why the totalitarian society is bad is like all in excerpts from that book in the Orwell version.
I knew there was something massive missing because it just makes no sense. Like they just get arrested for having sex, like such a bad premise. But then, like, if they read that book and then they tried to resist, then I can see why they would be rat tortured for that one. Sure.
I don't think they ever do that. I think they still do just get arrested for having sex in in the book. That's not. Because that, I think the point is that like they're literally like just doing this stuff in like the privacy of their own room that they're renting and stuff, and it's like such an inoffensive thing to be like punishing them and taking them to jail for, like they're not bombing anyone, they're not even like speaking out in public or whatever. It's just there, and they got a camera behind the painting or whatever, so to like watch
They have no hidden cameras that aren't screens. They didn't evolve that far, so they have this comedic moment where they reveal that behind the painting is actually a scowling Big Brother TV screen that they've never realized. Oh my god!
Yeah, that is pretty good. That's I enjoyed that bit quite a lot. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. What do we think of he's got like a glass ball with a little piece of coral in it. What is that? What's the thematic relevance of that?
I mean, like nowadays it would make sense that corals have gone extinct because of global warming, but I don't know. Do they even pollute that much in this future? Who knows?
I mean, I think it's just something natural or something like that would remind you that there was a different world or more to see than Big Brother's willing to show you. So
yeah. And it's been like completely, it's been frozen in the glass forever and stuff, it's been completely, yeah. That's neat.
I mean, I wouldn't even have guessed that was like an organic coral. I thought it was just like a toy.
Well, in the literal sense, it could have been, yeah, but yeah. I think that's from the book. I don't think that's a movie only.
It's gotta be, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense, like visually.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell what it is if you're just looking at it and stuff. I had to Google it to figure out what it actually was, so.
I mean, I swear, if anyone sees this movie who doesn't know anything about the book, I don't think they would get much, okay? It's so nonsensical, this movie.
Yeah, that is probably true. That is like one of the issues with the movie as like just a movie. Like you do not get very much out of it as like a storyline compared to just reading the book. Because it is more about these ideas and stuff and like expounding on them in writing than it is about like this very, very simple storyline they're telling.
Yeah. There was this Brave New World series that was pretty good actually, and I mean you would mostly understand like the world from that one, so that was good, but yeah this one is bizarre. Yeah. Well, I guess it did well because people just know the book, but that's weird. Like making a movie where if you don't know the book, you kind of lost is weird. How that happened. Yeah.
Well, there's like quite a lot of movies that end up being kind of like that. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but there's like a lot of times where someone will make a book or book movie, and then they'll sort of gloss over a lot of important things, and it sort of works better as a companion piece than like its own. Own
most
thing.
Most of them make way more sense than this.
Maybe.
I don't think I've ever seen a book movie where I'm like, oh man, I really didn't get this. I better read up,
Yeah. I don't know. They should do. They should do House of Leaves as a movie. I think that would be pretty good.
What's that?
It's a book where like a crazy book where like it's about this house that's all like fucked up and stuff, like this Lovecraftian kind of place that exists, and you go in and there's like miles and miles of tunnels and stuff, and it all loops around on itself, and the angles are wrong and everything, you know, like they don't add up to 360. But like when you're reading the book, like the book itself will start to twist and turn and stuff. Like there'll be pages where the words themselves make up like a maze and stuff like that. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's sort of famous as like a book that would be completely fucked if they tried to make it into a movie.
Wait, so is there a book inside the book?
There is also a book in the book, yeah. There's like a framing device for like someone who found the book, and then there's letters inside throughout that book as well. So like it would be such a mess if they tried to make that into a movie, and that you would only get like the surface level, like, oh, there's a creepy house under here kind of thing. So
I think he could make it happen. I think if there's a book inside the book, he could just show that book doing the craziest things you talked about.
Well, you could maybe, I don't know, but I feel like it would just, you know, it's what like people talk about like unfilmable books and stuff, and you can just film any of them, but you can just strip everything out of them. That's really cool, you know. So
I mean, like, you would still have that part where it does that in the book, you know? Like, if you just,
it wouldn't
reading
work.
that part inside. I mean, if you say so, but I think it would work.
I don't know. It'd be weird at the very least, so, you know.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it would be weird anyways.
Well, yeah. It's a cool thing. Yeah, the best adaptation of that is a Doom mod called My House. Yeah.
Well, I guess a movie could never live up to the prestige of having a Doom mod.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, you go in and there's like this whole the layers of reality on it and stuff. Like there's different versions of the same map over and over and stuff that you go to, and that it's very good.
I mean, if you can do it in a game, you can definitely do it in a movie.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It would be neat to see them try.
I guess it's like repetitive, so that makes sense for a game, because games are naturally repetitive.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe if it's a series, it could work that way.
Maybe, I don't know. But there's they should do a 1984 game though, where you go home and you have to sit in the right corner when you write your book.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you've hidden the thing that will get you killed, you know, or tortured. Yeah,
and eventually you always die. there's no good ending. They always find something and fuck you over.
I guess it has to be a VR game, so you make sure to hide like the forbidden book.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. It could be pretty good. Make it like Job Simulator, where you're doing like these extremely mundane little tasks and stuff, just messing around at your desk.
I guess it's like Papers, Please, yeah.
Yeah, Papers, Please that's a really good totalitarian kind of thing, and there's a lot of 1984 kind of influence in that. It's just
I should probably play that at some point.
Yeah, that's a fantastic game. They should bring it back, make another one.
I should make one specifically about 1984.
Yeah, it's already really close. It's already like they basically would just have to switch the names of the place out and stuff. So
yeah, they just have to acquire the rights.
Yeah, and this whole 1984 is still under copyright, I assume. So that would be a pointless amount of money. Yeah,
the official one.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. One thing that comes up quite a lot is like when he's dreaming and stuff, especially in the torture toward the end. There's a lot of Winston looking out. He's like standing in a doorway and looking out onto the gorgeous green world outside and stuff with all the hills and the trees and everything. And that's, you know, it's a little visual metaphor for him being trapped in there. You know, he can't get out of it, but he can only watch and look at a better world.
That torture sequence is so weird, because he's like in a beautiful world occasionally, and then the guy's talking to him, but then you see him in the real world and he's completely decrepit and his teeth are falling out. But then in the end, like, he was fine afterwards. Like, did they put his teeth back in? And what's even supposed to happen? Huh?
They cleaned him up, I'm sure. They gave him some toothpaste. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or dentures.
Yeah, maybe dentures, yeah. But it's like, I remember having read the book, I guess, or having someone read the book to me, and
wait, what? You mean an audiobook?
My mom.
Your mom read it to you?
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
I don't like
There's
reading.
some weird
okay?
scenes in there to have your mom read to you. That would be very strange.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I read it on my own at some point. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was like the first one that I actually read myself. Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
You got some lore there. Okay, whatever.
Some Florian.
Wait, what was I saying? Damn.
About the whole torture scene and stuff where they got him.
Yeah, so when I read the book or whatever, then it seemed like it had a happy ending where he accepted like Big Brother back into his heart, and then he went back to his life, and then him and the sinful woman, they're both there, but now they're not sinful anymore, and maybe they're productive members of society again, you know. And I thought that ended on like a positive note, but then in this movie I heard at some point they said, oh, they're gonna fix you up, they're gonna make sure that you love Big Brother before they execute you. So is that implied that they're gonna be executed at the end?
Well, we don't know if they're saying that they're actually going to execute him, or if that's just like their threat and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if like the end is a dream scene or not. So
you constantly live with the like thought of is my end of life coming like just around the corner? Like they're going to lead me into the execution place right after this.
Yeah. And they have the video of him like confessing and everything that he watches, but usually I assume that's usually like, you know, because if someone sees him after that and just out and about in society, they wouldn't like him or whatever, you know. So I assume that's something they'd usually do right before like executing them, because they have all the footage of these public executions on during their big broadcasts. Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know. I guess I'm just hoping that they get to be living a productive life without any sex, and they get to live on. Okay, it's too bad that they should let us have this. Okay, it's this happy ending, and there was no rat torture.
They get to live on no fat forever with their semen retention, so they can to expand their mind and raise their IQ. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Really, it's a kindness they're doing by forcing them into that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I like during the torture scene when they're I like with the torture scene when he starts appearing in his dreams, you know, that's like the party's worming its way into like his only refuge from this, like right into his brain and everything. That's pretty fun. And I like that he makes him think that he is putting up 5 fingers instead of 4, and that's, you know, that's a good little encapsulation of the whole thing, you know, is the 2 + 2 = 5 thing.
Oh God, I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like he's just like, guess how many fingers I'm holding up, and like whatever he says is wrong, and he just wants to shock him, and that's so cool. And then, I mean, like it's pretentious and stupid, but then it's like this big thing this movie is known for is that 2 + 2 = 5. But like that never came up before the torture scene, so I'm so confused about that.
It's forcing you, Florian. It's forcing you to acknowledge and believe something that is clearly not true.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but
to demonstrate they have complete control over your life.
But he's not even telling him what the right answer is. It's so annoying.
Well, he wants him to come to it and stuff, you know. So.
But how would he know?
Well, it's not. They're torturing him, you know. They want him to keep guessing and figure it out, sort of thing, and get the right answer that they want, like the party's answer.
I guess they make it so that he just really wants to absorb new party information and replace old party information immediately. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. And they want to make sure that he's like really committed to it, that he's not just like saying it for the sake of ending the torture and stuff. I like the torture devices they have. They have the electroshock, and they have like, it's like a rack sort of thing, but it's not. It doesn't have the big wheel. It has like a hydraulic or something, because there's like a meter on it of like, I think it's like some sort of air pressure thing, because there's always like a big air sound when they boost it up another couple notches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that it's perfect. That you can just stretch him as much as he wants. Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's an okay movie. I think the book is probably better though, because you get more out of it, like more of what it's actually trying to give you out of it than you do from the movie.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be certain that the book makes so much more sense. Like, because they just explain the things, and then like just seeing the things is just so unimpressive. It's like people being around and like looking at you because you like because they don't have sex and they don't want anyone to have sex, and it's just like their society, but they don't show it in any way because I guess they supposedly trying to suppress all other emotions, so you don't like it's just such a subdued movie, I guess.
Well, you're not supposed to get a lot of like like the whole point is the controlled flow of information, so you can't see a lot of like what the rest of the world looks like or what's going on in the proles' lives and stuff. You can't see all of that stuff. So it's very focused on this one guy who is doing a lot of having sex and walking around and writing. So it doesn't lend itself great to a movie the way that like Harry Potter or something like that does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean it's gotta be possible to do it right. It's just like, I mean, I guess you'd have like in a monologue explaining things or whatever. I don't know.
I think it might benefit from like if you could have drone shots, if you could have more weird psychedelic like internal kind of visuals and stuff. It might benefit from a modern version where there's more of like a cinematic language to show more cool things with it and stuff. I don't know. Because they could really stretch some of the camera angles and stuff some more, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it would do really well if it had AI, and then the Big Brother is just like their AI, and he's in charge of like punishing people when he notices like patterns that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
That would be really, really something,
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is I guess this is the most famous Orwell adaptation out there. There's a different 1984 from the 50s. I tried to watch that, and I got like 5 minutes in. It's so cheap and so hard to look at. So
yeah.
Well, the only thing that's hard to look at here is the Big Brother himself.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows the iconic shot from the old one, I guess, where they break the TV. But when does that even happen? Is there any TV that's gonna be broken?
That's from an Apple commercial that's based on 1984. That's the Apple ad where the lady throws the hammer or whatever. Yeah. But no, I mean that ad is shot like about as good as this movie and stuff. Like it's a really good looking, famous trailer. So yeah,
I was trying to find that movie.
It's not out there. It's just that. Yeah.
Gotta wait for AI to create that whole movie from that ad.
I hope not. But yeah,
it'd be epic. Okay.
Yeah. I guess as far as Orwell stuff, there is the Animal Farm movie coming out maybe this year or next
Andy
year.
Serkis wants to
my god, that is gonna be so awesome. I love Animal Farm so much.
Yeah, Animal Farm is a much simpler story, but it is more. There's like more visual stuff that you can do with it, and a lot more very clear, cool things happening, like when they blow up the windmill and stuff. That'll be fun.
It has more characters. It has more. Yeah.
I'm expecting.
It's too bad that they probably aren't gonna. They don't dare to use communism. I bet they're gonna make it about something else that isn't communism.
Well, it's already deniable that it's about like it's not really, but like it's to the point where you could just make it about. You just put the things that are in the movie and let people like come up with their own interpretation of it, and it's.
I mean, like I think it's as communist as it can be, right? Like.
Well, it is like directly paralleling the Soviet Union's like rise and everything, yeah. But they can just do that and say it's an allegory for whatever you want, So, I hope that movie looks just like the quote unquote live action Lion King, where it's all all these CGI characters.
I knew you were gonna
around.
say that. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, it's Andy Serkis, They're gonna do mocap on him. It's gonna be so good.
Holy shit, that is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it'll be very good.
I wonder if we're gonna have to pay like a lot of extra to see Hollywood movies now that we've got World War trade happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, we're retaliating with tariffs, and then Trump's gonna slap more tariffs on us, I guess. Wow.
I don't know how tariffs work for like software or for
Exactly.
files on a computer, right? Like I don't know if they can even tariff those. Because
I mean, yes, they definitely can.
well, they're not going through like the border or whatever, you know. I don't know what they how that would work.
Yeah, they are. Well, first
No,
of
they're
all,
not. Software, Florian.
Are you joking? Of course they. Well, I mean, like,
Yeah,
You
like
download that stuff.
yeah, it goes
the
over
electricity
tubes in
still
the air.
goes over. Yeah, it's still over the border.
That is true. They are putting tariffs on like electricity, I guess. So
Well, I mean, just think about it. Like, obviously, the money is going to get taxed, and they're going to see, oh, that's not from Europe. Where is that from?
I don't know.
And I don't know. I guess movie tickets are going to be 25% extra because like everything's from Hollywood. That's real smart, Trump. Good job. I guess Hollywood is going to be too expensive now. We're going to watch our own movies. You know, our European movies. They're going to have Renaissance now.
It depends on where in the like movie supply chain it is, I guess. Like where the costs would go. Then it would probably end up getting passed along to like ticket sales or something, I guess. But I don't know.
Well, the thing is that the rights belong to America if they're from Hollywood. So like
yeah, so they have to go through like a
would
distributor company, or sometimes they like I don't know how Disney distributes their movies. If they have like a Canadian
matter,
branch of Disney, I don't even know. So
like you're importing the entire movie, so the whole thing would be subject to tariffs.
I don't know, but it's just so weird because it's not it's not going over a border. There's no one to tax it there or whatever. Like I don't know, it's bizarre. We'll see. I guess
it would be nice if digital goods would be exempt, because that would be pretty fucked for me if I had to pay your stupid ass tariffs. But yeah,
do tariffs impact movies? Tariffs can impact a movie, potentially increasing production costs for hard. Well, that I don't care about that.
Yeah, that's not that.
Yeah, Hollywood's reliance on Canadian, Indian, and Japanese animation studios. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess that's just for Hollywood, but what about the EU tariffs? I hear that they're like way bigger because they're like on lots of different goods. So
they better not tariff my fucking YouTube videos, dude. I don't want to lose 25%.
You're in Canada, so actually, I guess
they're tariffing us a lot right now. We're getting all of it.
If Trump starts tariffing digital goods, you might be in trouble.
We're getting more tariffs than fucking China or Russia right now. It's no good.
Yeah, you and your woke country, that's what you get.
And you know what? We're getting woker, okay? Because Trump is just completely turned. Like we were at like a 40-point lead for the Conservatives getting a majority for a long time. Now it's right back to neck and neck, and it's only closing even more, so
good lord, how do people not see what the fuck? God,
it's so wild that he's just self-sabotaging so hard. Like he had everything that he could have asked for, and he's starting a completely pointless trade war.
Yeah,
that no one benefits from. I don't get it.
It's better than if he were just like really competent on trade and everything, but he was also like deporting people and stuff like that. Because no one cares if like I guess no one cares if people get deported or whatever. They just aren't bothered by that. But if he's going to fuck with the whole economy, then he's probably going to lose. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's so weird. Like, what is the point? Why is he self-sabotaging to this extent?
He's just really
dumb. He believes that the tariffs are what he needs to do.
Yeah. I'm scared of like a JD Vance or someone who's like more competent and just as evil. That's what's really scary about the future to me.
Well, it looks like the incompetence is the main evil right now. Like, it seems
I think their goals are evil too. They're the things they intend to do and stuff. That aren't.
I mean, if you actually are competent about it, there's like not that much you can do that's actually evil. Like,
there's a lot. There's legal mechanisms to start taking away people's like rights and stuff and deporting them.
Yeah,
so.
but like, who cares as long as you can buy eggs? Like,
I care.
Who cares? Well, in theory, you care, but like, would you rather have rights or would you rather have affordable food? Like. I mean, don't answer the question. The answer is you want the food.
Probably rights. I like rights.
No, you like food.
I like both. We can have both.
Well, you need food to survive. You don't need rights to survive.
No, we can have both though. We had both for 80 years.
Yeah,
and
well,
more.
that's not what wins elections anymore. Okay.
Well, that's well. What do you guys?
We
what are the final thoughts on 1984 here?
I was just gonna say we went woke, and then we went broke. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, maybe.
All right, 1984. It's an alright adaptation of the book, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that I think Purple is right that it's not exactly the best thing to adapt because it's not theatrical. It's not very like I don't know. It's just not very cinematic. I'd say it's mostly in this guy's head. It's mostly contained. It's mostly just not something that you'd watch happen. It's much better as a book to read. So read the book definitely, but movie's alright.
Yeah, I'm glad they were at least willing to do the narration and stuff, like and get that content into it to some degree. Because a lot of movies they'll just skip on all the narration and there's like nothing's going on anymore because of that. So.
Really? I don't even remember there being much narration.
Well, in a book, it's all narration pretty much. So
I meant in the movie.
There was a good amount, I thought. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
It was pretty weird how the woman just dropped him the note and then they met and they had sex. That was so weird. I guess that was actually pretty cool. But the rest of the movie, not impressed. I guess. Well, I gotta say I'm the one who suggested we do it because I wanted to see if it's actually worse or better than our current situation.
What's the verdict on that?
Well, currently we're still slightly better, I guess, but I think we're pretty dangerously close to this kind of like situation because like Trump is lying so much and his fans just believe everything and it's basically like rewriting history like they're doing. And I guess like you said with the education being like obliterated as well, it's so sinister really. I guess we'll really have to see if the incompetence defeats the purpose or if it makes it even harder. Man, we really live in the wildest times. But yeah, this movie is pretty tame, I guess. Not that impressive. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if hopefully even if I get bombed within the next 2 weeks, this episode will come out anyway. So thank you guys for watching.
I hope you got the French nuclear submarines defending you from the evil Orange Man.
I hope so. That'd be nice. I hope they'll come to our rescue. But who knows?
Maybe you'll be fine because now the EU is doing the tariffs, so maybe we're the imminent threat right now. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Thank you guys very much for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.